I have 1 week left to prepare my sailboat to live on her up here in northern Norway, right at the beginning of polar night, where we're not gonna see the sun for 2 months. And right now I don't have a bed. I'm standing in my bow cabin, and 1 week before moving in, I'm taking it all apart. Is that smart? Probably not, but it has to be done. See, I had this plan of just simply extending my bed, keeping it simple. And then I came into the bow cabin where I am right now, and I realized I'm making this much bigger of a project. And it has to happen because I had this leak all around the boat. And on my walls, or more likely behind my walls, it looks like this. And I don't think that's a place where I should be sleeping every single night from now on. So instead of simply extending my bed as I had planned, now I'm gonna take all the interior walls. I don't know, it's just fabric, I don't know what it's called. So this interior fabric, I'm just gonna take all of that off. And then I'm gonna clean all the hole from the inside, and I've ordered some insulation material. I'm gonna do that here in the bow cabin so that I have a safe place to sleep, but I assume that I will have to do some other areas as well in the coming weeks, but one step at a time. I have a few projects that I need to prepare now, and time is, as usual, a little bit tight. I want to get it done as quick as possible. So I'm preparing for several things at the same time that need to happen here in the bow cabin. One is that I want to take out this wooden cupboard because it's way too deep and it's taking up this whole wall where I want to actually just sit in my bed and enjoy the backrest and not sitting on this half cupboard. It doesn't make sense to me, so this is coming out. And then I want to create more storage underneath here, to have this access a little bit more open, because I'm losing all the storage in the cupboard, of course. So I need to make sure that I have enough storage still for all my clothes. And then, of course, next to the actual work that I wanted to do of reducing the cupboard size and extending the bed size, I will need to take off all the wall design elements, I don't know, the interior material. And once the insulation material is there, I can then put that on. In order to get the cupboard off, though, I also need to take off these cupboard spaces here on the side so that I have access to everything. So I'm just basically taking this whole bow cabin apart 1 week before moving in. Keep your fingers crossed for me that it's all back in place in time. Okay, time to get going. Where do I start? Let's move everything out. Most of the work is on the starboard side, so I'm just gonna start here, and then I'm gonna move out everything from the port side and see what needs to happen there. Whee! Oh Lord, that's completely soaking wet. Oh, I think I will remove that cupboard. I kind of will have to, because that board is completely soaked. That is completely wet. All the water in there. Okay, the first part is off. It is exactly how I expected it. Not much worse. So that's good. At least no bad surprises. It's already bad enough. I am not sure if maybe I should take the whole structure out here in the bow, meaning not only the cupboard to recut it, but also all the beds here. Because all the material is like, it was obviously attached to the walls before the beds were built in. So in order to really get all the material off, there will be a gap, and I will also need to put new insulation on. I think it's going to be easier if I take the complete bed structure out, which then means I can just build the whole thing new. What? I just wanted to extend my bed, and now I'm building a whole new bow cabin. This is so typical. So typical. Ay. Well, it is what it is. I know that I wanted to move in a week. That will obviously be pushed out. But now everything is out of this bow cabin. Even though this is a really big increase of what this project was supposed to look like, I'm really happy. I get to completely reset this bow cabin, and I get to be really sure that there's no mold in here. And that was a big topic when before I bought the boat. I had a feeling that there was going to be a lot of mold on this boat, and I will have to take also other areas apart. But for the moment, I'm going to concentrate on the bow cabin, getting that all out, getting the material to cover the walls again, so that I'm not opening too many areas. But the next steps will also include the bathroom, definitely, and I need to check 3 other areas where there might be the same situation. At least I know that behind the galley it should be fine, because there was no cover material on top of the walls, so at least there shouldn't be the material that I need to rip out. Where there was all the mold behind, there might still be water that accumulated in these areas. The plan now is that my plan is completely overthrown, and that is very usual when it comes to boat work, I guess, especially with old boats just bought, where you just get to understand the problems the boat has been under the last years. I not only took out everything in the bow cabin, as in like bed, cupboards, I also took out the anchor locker, because the anchor locker is still a big problem. There was no drain within the locker, but then every water source coming in from the winch just went into the bow cabin. And you see these glass fiber strings here. That's where the wooden panel was attached to. But there was a gap in between where water could just accumulate between the glass fiber part and the wooden panel. And the sealant around the wooden panel was not good anymore. There were a lot of holes, just as a lot of the sealants on this boat. It's an old boat. So I already took all that out. We're gonna make it new. So this will be the very first project, now that everything is empty, that we're gonna make the anchor locker watertight. And we have decided that we will drill a hole on the bottom here to get the water out, as I'm quite high above the water line. So there's a lot of space of water. Only big high waves, of course, will be hitting in there, and we're gonna make one hole that will easily drain out again. and this completely glass fibered in with a very small excess hedge. Now I still need to get these shelves off. They have been glass fibered in completely from the top and with like one area underneath where there was a little bit of glass fiber. So that's gonna be a lot of sanding to get that off. I'm not gonna use a cutter there because it's so close to the wall, and I don't want to make this project even bigger by making a hole into my hole. So that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be sanding all the way. It's gonna take some time, but I'm anyways waiting for the insulation material that is coming on the walls. I'm gonna put insulation material first everywhere above the waterline, and then the interior material will come on top. For the ceilings, I'm gonna reuse the wooden plates that I had, and I'm gonna put the cover material on top if it looks very different to the new one, because the ceilings, they were pretty fine. I don't like that there's so many holes that were drilled through the deck, but yeah, still a bit of work. So I will not move in next weekend. I will push that out by probably 2 weeks. What I want to do is I want to build a super simple bed in here, because I'm not sure about how I want to use storage in here in the future. I didn't like the way it was set up before, so it's actually quite good that I needed to rip everything out. But for the moment, I'm gonna keep it simple, for budget reasons, but especially because I'm not a fan of changing things before I've actually used them. So I want to move in, I want to see how I'm using things, and then I can build however the storage works best for me. Until then, I'm going to keep it simple. On the last video, there were a few people who asked for a way to support me on this project. So I thought of 2 ways you can support me in case you would like to. One is a very active way, the other one a little bit less. So it depends on what you want to do. Last year, I hosted a sailing trip, ice bathing and sailing, in Svalbard. That is an island chain north of Norway. So the closest island chain probably to the North Pole, maybe one of them. But that was super fun. We had a really nice group up there. We explored Svalbard, saw all the wildlife up there. We saw a polar bear with her 2 cubs. That was very sweet. And it was fun to experience hosting these trips. Next year, I'm hosting a trip here in the north of Norway, around Tromsø. And that trip will be an absolute adventure Arctic experience, because we're gonna do dog sledding, we're gonna take snowmobiles out, we're gonna go on snowshoe walks, we'll go to visit a lot of saunas. I'm really hoping to go to one small island where there's only a wood-fired sauna on there. It's such a cozy space and a perfect place to see the northern lights. So that's gonna be an amazing trip with a lot of adventure. You never know when a storm hits up here in the north. But this I'm hosting in February. And so I was wondering if there's anyone watching these videos who would like to join one of my trips up here in Norway. We could organize another one of these winter adventures. It's 1 week on one of our sailboats from Boreal Yachting. They're very cozy sailboats, very safe, with heaters on, so it's completely warm. There's a skipper and me on the boat, so everything's taken care of. And that's the active way of supporting me, by letting me host these adventure weeks and coming along on those. So if you're interested in that, I'm gonna pin a comment below to see if anyone's interested in that, and then I can take it from there. So just comment on that comment, find it, and let me know if you would like to join on that, or are generally interested in joining one of those trips. And then the other way of supporting me when you don't want to travel to northern Norway and go experience it yourself is that I created a Ko-fi account where you can either send one-time donations or tips, or you can set up a membership. I'm gonna post a lot of behind-the-scenes content on there, some images of life up here and the projects I'm on, And there's other perks that I figured out I could give to you guys for making a tip every month. Yeah, we'll see if this is something you would like to do, something where I can give you a little bit more than just these weekly videos, where I can also dive a little bit deeper into the whole process and everything. So I will also put the link for the coffee account below, and there you can choose. You can make a one-time donation, or you can set up a monthly membership. And then I can invest all that into this exterior wall, for example. That's a big investment that needs to happen now, the insulation and the cover material. And one big investment that still needs to be planned in is the anchor windlass. So if you feel like supporting me on this journey and enjoy watching me cry and being overwhelmed, but yeah, enjoy that I'm pushing my comfort zone and making this dream a reality, even if it's not so easy, and you would like to support me on making this a reality, I would be really grateful if you chose one of the two ways. And if you're really up for an adventure, it would be so fun to meet you guys up here and show you this beauty Northern Norway has to offer. It's just amazing. Especially today, it looks so beautiful outside. I have to show you now. Hey, look at how beautiful this is. And we just had a flotilla with 4 sailboats going out to just go north and exploring this winter wonderland with the orcas and the whales around. They are only here in November, December, sometimes also a little bit in January. But then apart from that, from February the sunlight is back, and then there's a lot of adventures we can go on to up here. It would be an amazing time and so fun to show you this area and what Tromsø and Northern Norway has to offer.